speaking of people in their prime and people, best people of their decades and stuff like that, Floyd Mayweather.
I have it right in front of me. I was actually gonna say the same thing. I was gonna do it the same way.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah,
See, we're getting in sync. We're getting better at this
prime. So Floyd Mayweather is scheduled to fight
out of his prime.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Of the Paul brothers, Logan and Jake Paul, YouTube stars and influencers. What date is the fight? On Showtime?
June 6th.
June 6th.
Next weekend, next Saturday.
Saturday.
On Showtime.
And I have something, I don't know if you've heard about this, but Logan and Jake Paul have a message for Floyd Mayweather.
I've been seeing the post. I haven't listened because...
And it's actually quite simple.
Frankly...
Be thankful. You need us more than we need you.
Oh, I know. I did read that headline, actually.
As a boxing fan, what is your response?
That's cool, because I was thinking about this, knowing we were going to talk about this. I was really thinking about which angle we had to approach this from. Because it's a circus, first of all. Just like, is it more of a circus? First of all, I wonder, is it more of a circus? Let me answer your question first. Unfortunately,
take it, man. Take it away. Take it away.
In their world, in the perspective from Logan and Jake, who live off of social media and make their money off of social, if the internet isn't there, I mean, at this stage, they would make a lot of money still because they have their brands and everything and their clothing lines or whatever they're doing, music. But before, without the internet, they wouldn't have a career or the career that they have, right? They would have, inevitably, I think they would have been successful anyway, but not to this degree, obviously. So in their world, yes, Floyd Mayweather has no clout, so to say, as much. But Floyd is very relevant in the real world, let's say. His businesses and his management companies for his promotion and bringing out fighters, his strip clubs, his merch, not merch, what do you call it? It's just his brand, the money team and everything. So in that sense, everyone knows who he is. The older generations know who he is, and they don't know who the hell Logan Paul and Jake Paul are. In the internet world, which is where this whole accolade is taking place, actually, they're right. They're right. Floyd Mayweather, like, the most people that are going to watch this aren't boxing fans. Like, I think the majority of people tuning in, it'll be split, I think 50-50. But within those boxing fans, there's a couple of casual people that don't watch any boxing except for the really big fights. And then a couple of hardcores that just want to, like, either see the freak show or just watch Floyd one more time. Because this might be one of his, I don't know. He said he wants to do exhibitions, but this might be his last one.
I remember when he went to Japan and fucked up some 15-year-old real quick.
So, but the funny thing about that is the guy is a very credentialed kickboxer, but he's like, it's hard to find someone smaller than Floyd. And they actually found a guy who was significantly smaller than Floyd, who isn't a boxer, he's a kickboxer, undefeated, and young, and but that was the biggest heist of all time. What was the reason? Oh, so it was on that fight. So the one against Tenshin Nasukawa was the name. In Japan. It's good I didn't butcher that name because people come after me. He apparently wanted to catch a New Year's party, so he had to leave ASAP. And he decided to, though, he said the plan was to carry the kid a couple of rounds to give a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then as the show went on, it got later and later and dragged on. His fight started, and he's like, man, I'm going to be late for this New Year's party. And decided to just finish the fight in one round. He decided to do that. And he did. He knocked the guy down 3 times. The guy was crying. Made $9-10 million.
Oh, the Japanese. That was the funniest.
The Japanese guy,
that was so fucked. Because there's a point at the match where he just starts laughing.
Yeah, no,
and
he's just
like, fuck it. And the dude is like, and the dude's crying. And I'm like, the referee should have stopped it right there. Like, if one of them is crying, it's like, fam, you're not going to win this.
No,
like,
he cried after he lost.
He was crying during the match.
The funny thing, I know what you're saying.
I watched this. He was crying during the match also.
Well, after the second knockdown, maybe. Like when he was knocked down and when he realized, like, what am I doing? I can't do this.
Yeah, exactly. What am I doing?
But the shitty, the most fucking Floyd thing, he's such an asshole, Floyd. Because after it ended and his coaches like hugged him because they threw in the towel and the guy completely broke down crying. Mm-hmm. You see Floyd like dancing in the ring, like doing this little dance.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm out here. Go to his New Year's party. Buy a couple more bottles of Ciroc. Not for himself. He doesn't drink. He never drank anything. Apparently, he's never drank alcohol either. And I believe it because also this guy's work ethic, and that relates back to the Logan thing. He's 42 years old now. Maybe 43, KJ? 42, 42, 43,
40,
whatever.
Well, I had it here. He's 44.
44.
Mhm.
All right, got his hair implants and everything, you know. And actually, I think it's funny. The hair makes him look older.
You think so?
Dude, he looked because he's always looked so much younger than his age. But also because his body is just he's as fit as it gets for someone that age. You've never seen him even put on if he puts on a little bit of weight, you don't even see it. It's just he's just a specimen, dude. This guy. But he used to run from that explains the work ethic. He loved the nightlife. He loved going out, but he never did any drugs, never drank alcohol, nothing. And he would make sure someone takes his car so that he could run from the club back home to go do his runs like at 4 or 5 in the morning. He'd be out all night, and then he would jog all the way back from the city to his suburb where he's living. And he's always done that throughout his career, and I think now even. He does his meetings, everything. He still does his runs. He just started training again now. And, dude, he's still looking sharp from the footage you see, and you just don't lose it.
So to add some context, I've been doing research the whole time.
Right.
To add some context to this conversation, Logan Paul is reportedly worth somewhere around 20 mil plus, somewhere around there. All right?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather is well over 450, apparently, according to some resources, after the whole Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao thing. He's actually more around 1 billion.
Yeah, he was, I think, the first billionaire in sports.
Okay. Fam, he don't need you.
No, he don't need you. That's it. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, stop. Like, or you need
that's what I'm saying, but that's real world
He's
money.
A billionaire.
but see, that's real world. That's not online. That's not internet money. That's what I'm saying. When I say real world money, I mean real world businesses. So it's from his boxing, and of course, media plays a part in it. The TV rights, the paper views,
this is
all
a pretty
media.
reputable
But
source.
it's
surpassed 1.2.
It's businesses, investments. It's boxing. It's that's the real world money. That's where he made it, and their money is online. In terms of name recognition, I mean, to people who I didn't even get to the other 50% that are watching this boxing show. That's what I was getting at. True. Thanks for reeling it back in. 50%, the other 50%, or even more than 50% who are going to tune into this event are the internet people that don't know Floyd Mayweather. They might have heard the name. They know, oh, he's a boxing champion, but they don't know the degree of difficulty to reach that and the level of boxing you need. Look, last night I watched Devin Haney. Very amazing young talent. Also started at the Mayweather Academy, Mayweather Promotions, the gym. He reminds me of a young Mayweather in a way. He does get hit too much to be a Mayweather, he does get, and but his style is different. Like, he's still a bit more offensive. Yesterday he was very much offensive. If you watch that fight against Jorge Linares, which was sick, I mean, he was dominating, but also getting some really good, like Linares at the end of every round would make sure he got a couple of good shots in. Round 10, the end of round 10, Haney gets wobbled by Linares, and Linares chases him, tries to finish him in the 11th, even though he's been dominated the whole fight. And Haney smartly played it out. In the end, he survived and won easily. But what I'm getting at is, you watch that fight, and the level of boxing that you see there, and that's not even Mayweather level, is something baffling, And any of these kids, I urge any of these kids to watch and compare, like the Logan Paul KSI fight.
I watched. He lost. Which he lost, right? You said he didn't really lose because the judges weren't fair.
Of course he lost, but there was a 2-point deduction that is very unfair, especially in a 6-round fight. That's half the rounds of a normal title fight or big main event fight.
So if it wasn't for the deduction, he would have won.
He would have won. Yeah, without the 2-point deduction on at least I think 2 of the judges' scorecards, which gives you the win still of the 3 judges. Still though, you watch that, and I, as impressed as I was with the level they showed for people that aren't boxers, I was like, this is good. Like, it was decent, it was pretty good. Watch Haney and Linares, and those people aren't even on that Mayweather level. And you'll obviously see, like, no matter size, no matter what, these kids are gonna fuck up Logan. Now, of course, they're gonna think Floyd 44, he's old, he's gonna be slow. Listen, Floyd doesn't, for a professional fighter fighting the best fighters, he's slowed down. But for someone coming in now, and of course he has the pro license, but he's not really a pro. We know why he got that license. Like commissions are shady like that. When there's money to be made, they'll give you a license, man. Look, if I had that clout and it was worth many millions and tens of millions of people would buy the pay-per-view to watch me fight Floyd, they would give me a license.
What do you
they
say?
Shouldn't give me a license.
What do you say to those that say, well, he's taller?
Yeah.
He's close to like half his age. He's 26. He's super young. He's bigger. He's heavier.
Yeah. Well, they think he has more power now. Look, he's I've seen the training footage.
He's taller. He's
taller
bigger,
but he doesn't have more power though. In the sense that it's years of practice of the techniques of throwing punches, and also like throwing punches after making an evasive movement, setting up your shots. All that takes decades of experience to do it at the level that Floyd did, and that includes power. Because even people thought Conor McGregor, who is actually a fighter and one of the most devastating strikers in his division in the UFC, when he went to boxing, and people were saying, yeah, but he has the power advantage and speed. I'm like, dude, boxers, if you've only been doing striking for all these years, that's a different level of striking and power. Floyd will have more power. People called me crazy. See the fight, he had more speed and more power than Conor did, actually. So it's just a different level. Now take Logan with all the size and everything. He will have pop, he will have power, but it's not anything that Floyd hasn't felt yet. Pretty sure. Like, no matter what. I'm sure he's sparred not that size, but bigger guys in the gym, and I can assure you he's probably sparring people that size now in training and fucking them up. I was thinking for myself, even though as much as I'm like, 110% Floyd's going to win this fight, why am I interested then in watching it? I think it's just the fact of the circus element of it, and also my interest in seeing how a previously that great professional, one of the greatest of all time, and some say the greatest of all time, 50-0, deals with someone of that size. KOs. Yeah, and also like from the technical aspect, someone that big going at someone that small. How does the small guy who knows how to fight deal with the big guy that kind of knows how to fight? Like this is from a technical aspect interesting.
I think a big thing that is, well, I don't know if it's being overlooked. I don't know what that boxing expert or what boxing world is saying. I don't follow it too closely. But I think what maybe more the casual fans or the Logan Paul, let's say the Logan Paul fans, people who don't know shit. What they might
be the kids who don't watch.
Yeah. What they might be
because you're a casual fan.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
but I'm also not.
Fan.
But I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm saying one thing.
You
I
mean
think
the non-fan?
Yeah. Because I think what some people are forgetting is the stamina element. Boxing is, I think there's very few sports that require more stamina than boxing.
Yeah, but when I was last time,
couple,
with the Askren thing.
There's a couple of them that require more stamina, and that's it. So, and Floyd can go the full mile, easy.
And not only that.
And not even get tired. This kid you can't.
No, he was gassing out around 6 as well, around 5 and 6, which is all right. Like last fight, I think this is an 8-round fight, so he's still gonna have to find two more. And he wasn't getting hit to the body.
But exactly because he was getting gassed out at that round. But who was he fighting?
KSI, yeah, KSI, another
you're
YouTuber.
You're gonna need. He's gonna need a little bit more.
Again, as I said, for YouTubers for that level, very good improvements, and maybe the best boxer out there in the YouTube world.
For Floyd, he's gonna get exhausted at around 3. He's gonna get exhausted.
Yeah, because
he's not gonna get up to 6 before he gets exhausted.
Floyd's game plan, he's so small. Look, it's gonna be hard to say Floyd's gonna catch him on the chin and knock him out. I see him finishing him with body shots. Yeah, as you said, he's gonna lose his stem and everything with the devastating body shots that Floyd throws, and a lot of the clips are put out now, and those are also old clips of his training. He trains on body shots all the time. That's one of his main. That's his path here. Right? All he's gonna do is not get hit, as he always does, against the fastest. By the way, he fought the smaller guys. He fought Pacquiao as well, one of the fastest, best combination boxers, pressure fighters ever. The only 8 division world champion, 8 divisions, weight classes. He could barely land on him. Now a bigger guy who's also slower. How's he gonna land on him?
Who was less? He's not Pacquiao.
He's not. But the bigger the guy, people say like more power and stuff. No, what if he doesn't have as much power as a Pacquiao does, which I doubt. Pacquiao has
Well,
more power than Logan Paul.
He's
as a
bigger
small
and
guy,
he's also easier to hit.
easier to hit,
Slower, yeah.
He's gonna have to dirty box. He's gonna dirty box, but even in dirty boxing, he doesn't know how to deal with those clinch situations like Floyd does. Now, of course, he can lean on him. He can try to, but usually people try to lean on you and stuff to tire you out, and that's not gonna work with Floyd. Even at 44, the guy's fit. The body is gonna be. He gets him with a liver shot. Maybe that's my prediction. Round 5, Floyd gets him. After enough devastation to his body, he finally catches him in the liver, like a liver shot. Liver shot is the worst shot you can get hit by in boxing, really.
Not to the head.
No.
Liver shot pointed out. Where was that?
Maybe it's what's going. Whatever. The liver. Let's get here. If you get hit under if you get hit clean. Oh, dude, I'm gonna show you this because I uploaded Ryan Garcia's on my Instagram, when it happened this last fight. And my reaction was, I was a bit drunk too, but
And there's that left hook. Campbell thought he was going to come up top. And it went downstairs right on the liver. There was no way Campbell wanted anything to do with getting up after that punch.
Describe what Luke Campbell was feeling right here.
Paralyzed. He was paralyzed. He could have possibly got up.
Oh. The dude just caves in.
Yeah. This is after around 7. He had knocked down Ryan Garcia with just a normal shot on the chin, clean, down before, and it was a very competitive fight. But this ends it. But then you're look, Ryan Garcia, he is arguably at the moment the best body puncher. So you are looking at the best here. But it's not again, Floyd is not fighting an experienced boxer or stuff. A guy who's bigger. But his torso is going to be in range all the time to get hit and picked up all the time. Then again, who knows how Logan is going to come in terms of game plan though? What if he can keep enough distance all the time to know that Floyd is not a threat to his face or his head, that he can just basically guard the body the whole time and focus on that. But then again, that kind of strategy would debilitate you from using all your skills, and you will still end up losing your landslide decision. But then again, Logan's thinking is probably, if I can get this to a decision, I've already won.
Well,
that would be my mindset. If I'm in with Floyd and I make it to a decision, I won.
That's a brilliant segue to a question that I have, and one thing I'm thinking as well. There's also an element, and I think this even goes for professional. I think some of them might have said this before too. Even professional fighters, you can be a boxer and be experienced and everything. That's still Floyd Mayweather though in front of you. You don't think there's just a level of? There's also that element of just I'm not a boxer at all, so I'd just be terrified. But I could imagine even if you know how to fight, that's the guy's 50-0, doesn't get beaten, never been knocked out. There's a level of. He might just fuck around and get nervous.
Yeah,
that's big. Especially since he's not a professional. He's not done this before where millions of people all over the world are watching this. He doesn't know that kind of pressure.
He was hella nervous fighting the YouTuber. I mean, but that was also sold out
talk about that. Isn't that a thing that plays a role as well in boxing?
Yeah, 100%. So that's why I think Jay, because in my opinion, Logan is the better boxer of the two, the brothers, technically. But the thing that Jake has for him is the mental side. And as much as I see him get nervous, though, it's not to the degree that if Logan gets nervous. And it's because Jake is in life also more of an asshole, the bad brother, let's say, the bad guy. He also actually has that killer instinct in him that I think Logan misses, where I'm not trying to kill this guy in the ring, but Jake is in there if I kill you, I kill you. He still at least has that mentality, that's something where, he might crumble under pressure,
That's one of I think that's a big factor. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a big factor. You're some YouTube kid who does boxing as a hobby, really. Yeah. This is Floyd Mayweather, fam. This is not even some regular, another professional boxer that's at least a person. This is Floyd Mayweather.
Right now, his idea, like right now in his head, he's probably not even scared of Floyd that much because he's like, what was he? He's small. He's
Yeah, but
a
when
smaller guy. Yeah,
But when you get in front of him,
then you're like, oh, this is actually about to happen.
when
Then
it's
then
about
you
to
start
happen,
replaying all the fights that you've watched in your head.
When it's about to happen, you get there, you see
Yeah.
the crowd, you step in the ring, you feel the energy, and that first time
Yeah.
you try and hit him and miss and don't understand why.
And then he got hit in the body a couple of times. Where did that come from?
Hold on a second. Like I've seen
Mayweather's
this.
going to turn into Pacquiao. Actually, that
We've
fight.
seen. I've seen fights and highlights. People fight Mayweather. You can just see them. The Japanese kid.
Yeah. No, but really,
The Japanese kid was a
real
good
high level
example.
boxers, Canelo. Canelo is Mayweather's the only loss. Now, the argument Mayweather took Canelo, he was smart. He took Canelo when he was a kid, when he was still a teenager. He's like, I know this guy is going to be the greatest boxer of his era.
So I'm
I'm
now.
gonna get the win on my record. Yeah, and Canelo now, he would.
He'd
Yeah,
win.
it's hard. But that's very 50-50 still. Like I was always saying, like
Yeah, he's
Canelo
got
now
the
would beat
age.
Mayweather. No, but I mean like
Young.
prime Mayweather versus prime Canelo.
Okay, prime though. So not the current
Yeah.
Mayweather. You taking the prime
Prime one.
versus prime? Okay, yeah. Then it's different.
50-50. I was always saying Canelo would win, but no, because I've been looking at a lot of more Floyd now. Or looking back, I was like, nah,
Good man.
it'll be a good fight. But he took him as a kid, and Canelo, you could see like halfway through, was like, oh my god, man. Like, you know, the media hype. Canelo knows he was being tipped as the best, and he knew probably the greatness in him because there is no one at his level at the moment, technically, at all. You know, across all weight classes, I think pound for pound, he's the best. But yeah, you can see that mental pressure halfway through. Is like, fuck me, I could run through everybody, and I can't even touch this guy.
You see, but that has to fuck
Yeah.
with you, man. It's a mental game too. Boxing is very much a mental game too. Like people lose just off of the. You talked about a lot about Mike Tyson, how that was a big part of what, you know. Obviously, he's just amazing boxer, but that was also a big part of his ability was that the mentality of I'm just gonna fucking destroy this person.
Mike
You know what I'm
Tyson
saying?
without the mentality wouldn't be where he is. But
Just
he said
having
he
that
was
in your
even
head.
just being hypnotized into being this
Hypnotized,
killer
yeah.
animal. Yeah.
And we know if you watch interviews and stuff, he had that attitude. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
destroy people,
Crazy.
and that's it.
Like he was in there.
Logan Paul is not built like that.
No. He's
Not built like that. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
No.
But the Japanese kid to me is a good example
And-
too, because the Japanese kid so Floyd went and caught a body real quick in Japan, find this 15-year-old,
But
and
that's
he goes there, and you see the kid.
So it's 20-year-old.
You see the
kickboxer.
process slowly. I like that fact because you
Yeah.
see the process of the kid slowly starting to understand what is happening.
Because
apparently he's pretty good in like what he regularly does.
yeah.
But you can just see him not understanding what is going on. And just
The biggest factor
It's
that
like, wait,
happens in
what?
those fights is that when you know that when you realize that the punches that you land clean aren't hurting your opponent, that's the most devastating part. We're like, dude, even if I land on him, he's not scared of me, he's gonna keep going forward. Because part of the thing is, and that's why the jab is very important, is at least it keeps your opponent at bay, so it gives you the distance to time your shots and to time them. Right? If someone is constantly getting in at you and not giving any fucking respect to your power or your shots or anything, that's the most debilitating thing because you can't even get in the rhythm to
nothing about
get
it.
your own shots off. Yeah. So
couldn't do nothing about it.
now, tension, that guy, like Mayweather, as he did with McGregor, because Mayweather's always on the defensive foot. Against the Japanese kid, I mean, of course, he knows it's an easy fight. He took an offensive route. And so he kept going forward, and the kid landed a few shots on him. And at some point, like Floyd even let him like land a combination, and nothing was happening. And you see the kid was putting full force behind it and got like just completely
And
demotivated.
just not
It's
understanding.
like, shit, even when I
wait,
land and he's
how?
letting me land, he's not feeling anything. And then boom, countered down. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen when you talk a big game and you know you have the size advantage and stuff. Like after a few rounds, like you're gonna get bored. You're sick of this game. Like I mean, it's the same as when you're playing a video game, you know. And what if you're playing a video game, you're playing FIFA, and then like 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row, you're just like not able to not pass a ball around in FIFA, and you keep conceding goals. You're
Can't
like,
do nothing. You're like,
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's the
then
same.
mentally, when you lose the mental, it's finished. When
Yeah, that's it.
you lose that mentality of I can do this,
Yeah.
and you start to go like, oh, I don't know. You start hesitating in that ring, especially in front of Floyd. It's over. It's over.
Oh, and you're in
It's
round
over.
4 and you have 4 more rounds to go. And you're like,
And
oh,
you're tired. It's not
dude,
gonna
like,
happen.
yeah, I can't give up because I'll look like a bitch.
It's over.
Or I'm gonna have to get
I
knocked
wouldn't be
out.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
And
I
he
could
gives
see
up?
a scenario. I could see a scenario
on the
I
stool.
can see a scenario where he goes, this is. I got my 100 mil. I'm good. He's getting 100 mil either way.
I don't know. Yeah, because
He's about to triple his.
I know Floyd would probably make 100 mil, but
Oh no! Wait, sorry, no. I think that was sorry.
no, not
Correction.
100 mil.
The 100 mil is for Floyd. I don't know what he's getting. The 100 mil is for Floyd. Correction. Yes, you're
I
right.
think he was
Yeah.
getting. I think he would get.
Floyd
more
is getting
close to
100
10
mil.
or something.
He might get more like something
Yeah.
like that. But still,
Because what Floyd always does, and that's I think because Floyd always used to beat people mentally before the fight. Not as much now. This is just an exhibition fight. It's not gonna count towards anyone's record. But
still,
he used to like even with Conor, he did that. He's like, no, wait. He's like, I'm the one making 200 mil because my net worth is in hundreds of millions. Your net worth is tens of millions. You're gonna make the biggest payday of your life, but it's 90 mil. So he would always make sure that people know and reminds them like, so you think you're a big shit? I'm worth $500 million, so I get the 100 mil. You're worth 20 million. You'll be happy with the 10 million.
even with Pacquiao,
That's how he would. Yeah.
Even with Pacquiao, he had the attitude of, I'm doing you I'm giving you this. This is for you. I'm
Basically,
doing you
yeah.
a favor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. They can't say to him, you need us. That's just not true. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it in either way.
But that's what they believe in their world.
Yeah, the
It's
confused
where,
world.
you know.
The real
Yeah,
world,
it
that's not
is.
true.
I know, yeah.
Or no, I don't know
Actually,
what
they had this
talking
very cringy press conference when they first announced the fight. They came on stage, and that's when the hat thing happened.
'Cause
That's another thing we need to talk
There's a
about.
lot of people that have no fucking idea who they are that are looking at them now.
Yeah, true.
We're talking about them. I don't talk
But
about
that's-
them normally.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, come on.
I mean, why are we
But
talking about
Floyd
them?
Mayweather? Everybody knows who Floyd Mayweather is. Stop.
We're talking about them in the context of of fighting fighters. What was like? Yeah, so they had this event, and the conference, like Floyd was even saying, like, yeah, well, you are internet. I think it's maybe the laptop or something. Like you come from internet money. Without the internet, you wouldn't have your money. I would have my money regardless of the internet. Which is, I mean, I think it's kind of in a way, it's a bogus statement. I laughed at it first because I was like, yeah, if TV didn't exist, you wouldn't have money, for example. But yeah, but it's a good way to look at it in terms of relevancy. Outside of the internet world, Floyd has the name and Floyd has the money. Outside of the internet world, Logan not so much.
But there's also, I think, I get. You can look at what he was saying a little deeper, because I think what he means also by that is that if in theory you did something and YouTube decided to ban you, that's it.
True.
And that's what I have with so many of the internet.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, he would lose a fan base. That's true. He would lose a big fan base, but
Well, you
still,
use it-
like, there's yeah.
Well, that's what I have with so many of the
If the internet bans you, I guess. Yeah.
That's what I have with so many of the internet, and it's not like we haven't seen this before. Because take for example, there's a UK rapper called Wiley. Maybe you've ever heard of him, and he said some
Of course.
offensive things.
Bossy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love
He
that
said
song.
some
Yeah.
offensive things about Jewish people,
Mm.
and he literally got ousted from the internet. YouTube
When did that happen?
This was
Was it before Bossy?
last year. It's
Oh,
after.
fuck.
It's after
After.
Bossy. It's after
Jeez.
Bossy. It's after Bossy.
Damn.
He did that. You know what they did? They deleted his Instagram. They deleted him on Twitter. They deleted him on Facebook. YouTube deleted all of his videos and even the music. They deleted everything.
That is fuck. Yeah, that's
Gone.
That puts it in context. That's a good context thing. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Good example.
Now,
Yeah.
the Paul brothers are more YouTube stars. They're more famous on Facebook. So YouTube might think about it a little bit longer before they do that.
Because of
But
how much
in
money they bring in
theory- But in
to the,
theory, if they wanted to, these massive, powerful corporations, they could just, you don't have anything tangible. And that's what I think is an important conversation. Also, when I, not to go back into it, but also when I look at the Joe Budden podcast, what he keeps saying, like, oh, we are the creators, we have the power, this and that. I'm like, well, if we're really going to look at what your podcast accounts for the revenue of YouTube, or actually the revenue of Google, because that's what owns YouTube, you think they really care? You think that they would miss it on the balance sheet? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what Floyd is saying, I have my own business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think that's what Floyd, I have an actual business.
Yeah.
And you are just, all you have to
Which, of
sell
course,
is
we have to
your
question. I mean, like,
personality.
Of course, like
That's how I understand
half
it.
of his revenue and business probably comes. The internet has helped facilitate that, of
course.
course. Yeah, but I get it. Yeah, he would still be a multimillionaire. If anything.
I mean, well,
that's what it is.
he has investments also.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Look, once you have money, it's easy to make money. That's-
now, to be fair, again, these kids, the Logan, especially Logan, I know I've heard he's also pretty business savvy. He's starting businesses and doing stuff like
he's
that.
very
doing-
smart. He's a very smart guy.
so,
And he
yeah.
was like top of his class in high school, I think, college as well. He actually, I would be interested in seeing him. And he says before he dies, he wants to have an MMA fight. He would have a decent MMA career, actually. And that's like unanimously agreed upon also by experts. Because his wrestling pedigree is very high level, also statewide. And now he has the striking element in it. And he's trained boxing. So his boxing will be a lot better than a lot of these MMA fighters and strikers. You see Ben Askren and stuff, who's been a champion and doesn't know shit on the feet. Logan would fare well. He's has training with Paulo Costa, who recently lost, but he fought for the title in the middleweight division. And he's trained with Logan. He got him on the striking, but then Logan gave him a very good run for his money in the wrestling. He saw the footage and he's like, Logan has the fundamentals. He's very good in wrestling. So if he can combine the two, I think that's very brutal, but give him the right opponent, he'll beat a couple of professional MMA fighters in that context.
Yeah, especially.
So he is,
And it's not hate towards them. They're doing well. They're doing their
No.
thing. They're YouTube stars. They know how to market themselves. They're starting businesses. Good for them. They're doing. Go get it. Fucking.
yeah.
I'll get knocked out by Floyd for a couple mil.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm young. I can wake
You
up.
know what? Yeah.
I'll be all right. I'll survive it. You see what I'm saying?
I was thinking if I in a normal
Fuck
level, on a normal life, I would not be afraid of Floyd. But as he put it, in the context of in a boxing ring, I think I step in there, I'm gonna be terrified.
I'd be
I'm
terrified.
like, oh shit, that's
I'd
actually
be
happening.
terrified.
But I would, my mind, I wouldn't think of strategy. I wouldn't think of anything. I will keep thinking
Survive.
20 mil.
Just get
That's
through
all I'm
it.
thinking. Yeah, even if
Get
I get
through
knocked
it.
out, 20 million. I'm gonna
Just
get 20 million.
get
Yeah.
through it. Minimize the brain damage.
Yeah, I'll
and
just
get
protect my
your
head.
money. Protect your
hit my body.
Yeah. Minimize the brain damage.
Kill. Let me go down.
And no, go get our money. Hey, and
I'll
anybody-
legitimately go down. I won't fake it. I'll keep
because
going till I
another
die.
element
Until I
is
drop.
you don't need to have any pride in it. That's Floyd Mayweather. I got to fight him at least, and I got through one round at least. That's
One interesting thing, because he was always saying, I baited Floyd into this fight. I'm gonna beat him. I have the one shot that I could land, which is the one that most people that fought Floyd thought. But now he's sort of backing down. I'm noticing now it's hey, I'm still fighting Floyd Mayweather. He made a mistake taking this. I'm the one that shouldn't be here. He's sort of backing down, which makes me think of kind of gaps in mental strength, some mental weakness showing now.
It's it's with every sport, but I would imagine with martial arts, especially when you're one-on-one, you're in front of someone and you just know what that person is capable of. It must be intimidating at sometimes. Could be terrifying. You're just we've seen this. We've seen matches where you saw people's head, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it was just in their mind, they just already lost. As soon as you lose up there, it's finished.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, that's what used to happen to Oscar in the end of his career. Oscar De La Hoya, one of the best ever too.
That's what. And they said, didn't they say that was because of the Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah, because
that's
who beat him
since the Floyd Mayweather fight. He was never really the same. I think that's what they
because
said.
after that, I don't know if it's straight after that he faced Pacquiao and he gave up on the stool. But that's what Pacquiao was fucking up. So Pacquiao retired him in the end, basically. But it was though remnants of the Floyd fight, so that is an argument they say, yeah.
Because he lost his Floyd also
because
made
he was
Floyd made fun of him and the whole circus. There was a bigger
Floyd
part
was coming
to it.
up and people knew Floyd, but people didn't really know what Floyd was ultimately capable of. And when someone like that comes up and you face him, and you are Oscar De La Hoya, the king.
He was the king at that point.
He was the Mayweather, basically, who would destroy everybody, and you can't touch this new kid. And now, of course, this is hindsight because you don't know what this new kid is going to be capable of doing and going 50-0, which is a record shared with Rocky Marciano. But in that context, shit, I may not have lost it. I can't even touch this new kid. And then you fight Pacquiao, and Pacquiao is also kind of the new kid, and you get completely obliterated, and then you're like, I might suck now. I might be on the decline. But you're not, because these guys turned out to be two of the best ever.
Yeah.
But in that time, it's like, those are children. There's new kids coming up. Maybe I'm not able to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And Oscar was on coke. Still is.
Oh, perfect. Well, there's also that. No, but you have it. You have those where it just it fucks with their head and they just never really recover from that. Yeah, fuck with you.
Last thing I want to add to this is the the whole debacle with the Jake and gotcha hat and all that.
The
It
gotcha
really
hat
pissed
thing.
him off, Floyd. I think Floyd had the idea of carrying him like he did with Connor and like making it more of a fight. Like more of a I'm gonna go into later rounds and stuff like that and play with him a bit. I think that's off the table now. And also the reason he's uploading these bloody sparring photos. Like I'm coming to kill you in round 1. Like he's not gonna. I think it's gonna get past round 1 or 2. But he's coming in to destroy him. He's coming in to destroy Logan now. He's not gonna carry it.
He's not gonna drag it out. Yeah.
He's actually gonna try to finish it from the first minute, I think. Yeah.
Which means it'll finish.
Which
pretty
is
fast.
why I'm. That intrigues me more into watching it. Like some people, the casual I won't say the casual. The people that don't watch boxing are watching it for like, oh man, Logan, if he beats him, this is gonna break the internet. He's a big guy, of course. He could land on this big guy and the small guy. Now I'm watching it from the perspective of, let's see how vicious he's gonna come in and finish this. How he's gonna prove that at 44. It might like silence a couple of these shit talkers that are calling out real fighters.
Well, what do you say to those that say, we thought the same thing about Ben Askren and he went down?
Ben Askren is not a boxer, not a striker. It turns out his striking sucked. I mean, we knew it sucked already, but I mean,
he's not Floyd. I understand that, but
no, but
still.
I mean, his not. What are you comparing Ben Askren with?
Well, he fought Jake.
Yeah, but
And they said, yo, this is an actual fighter. Jake's not going to be able to beat an actual fighter, even if it's not a boxer.
No, but that was always more like a 50-50 thing. Where like, yeah, Ben Askren, like people thought he would survive, of course. I also never would have thought he would have gone down like that. Although looking at him on the day from the first minute, I was like, shit, this is not going to be good for him. But the guy doesn't, he just doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have those movements in him. He doesn't have that. He's a standing target. He's smaller. I would have expected. I mean, I always said like if it goes to a decision or something, he's gonna lose because he doesn't know how to box. Anyway, but this is a boxer. This is a athletic fighter who is actually in the discipline he's in. I mean, I gave him credit. Like as I said, Logan in MMA, for example, he would fare well. In boxing, he won't against the boxers. But in MMA, against MMA fighters, he could fare well against certain MMA fighters. Yeah.